Hey guys, how's everyone doing? This is Nick from ForexNoobs.com with a daily analysis. So today is Tuesday the 5th of November 2019. Time is 4 p.m. here in the UK. You're looking at a CADCHF daily chart, and today's now you're looking at a daily chart. Today's analysis, we're going to be looking at price action setups across most of these pairs here. We're also going to be discussing some other setups from last week, potentially, and some setups that triggered on Monday, because a bunch of setups triggered on Monday, and some of them have hit target already. So let's get into it, guys. First of all, CADCHF. CADCHF trade triggered on Monday. A lot of you guys entered this one. I missed it, unfortunately. Oh, actually, before I do that, I just quickly want to show you guys something cool that I've discovered. Let me show you guys this. So you'll notice that this screen, this trading view I have here, it's not in a browser anymore. It's like a standalone window. And if you use Chrome or a Chromium-based browser, you can have this too. Basically, open up TradingView in Chrome. You click this little button here, install TradingView, analyze your chart. And once you click that button there, it will open up as a program on your computer. Essentially, it's like, it's hard to explain what it is, but it'll act as if it was a program installed on your computer as opposed to being in your browser. So then you can open it from here by typing trading, and you'll see that it comes up here as an app. You open it and it's in its own window like this. Pretty cool. It's still Chrome, but it's in its own separate window, and it's it's an app. It's pretty handy. I like it. It's way better than having it hidden in some browser tab somewhere. Now it's its own program, which is great. Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys that because I discovered that yesterday and I thought it was pretty cool. So I thought I'd let you guys know. But let's get into the analysis, guys. So first of all, CADCHF. This trade triggered on Monday. A bunch of you entered. I missed the trade. It's going good for a lot of you. And a lot of you have already closed it out. Well, not a lot. I know at least one person's closed it out. I don't know if there's more. But I know a bunch of people in it. It's going pretty well. So, yeah, just hold on to it. Probably lock in some profits. It looks like it's going to struggle at this resistance area, which is no big surprise. So lock in some profits, but it seems to be going pretty well. A bunch of trades happened on Monday. I was away most of Monday, so I missed a lot of this stuff. USDJPY, this was open from last week. I think some of you held this one over the weekend. Obviously, this one's turned around. You should have probably got out of this one by now. When you saw it turning around, there should have been a sign to exit. You should have got out at break even or something along those lines. So that one's off. I think most of you exited on Friday anyway. So to the few of you who stayed in the trade, you should have probably closed out when it was going back if you didn't. I'm not sure what a short squeeze is. There's so many different terms for setups in Forex that people make up, including me. I think a short squeeze is probably made up by someone else. I'm not sure what it is. Oh, wait. One sec. Let me quickly check. Where is it? No, never mind. I wouldn't be re-entering this. I don't think that's a good idea. That's not the way I trade. The setup isn't, if you were in it, it's not going well. I don't see any potential to re-enter this trade. It's just smashed through resistance, smashed through the 200 moving average. It's looking very, very strong. Nothing about this says go short to me at all. So, yeah. AUD-CAD, this is a short trade entered by some of you on the forum. I wanted to enter this one, but I missed it. It's not going fantastic, but it's not going bad. It's just kind of going. It's showing signs of stalling at this resistance area. It's got a lower low in this current candle, albeit not that much lower. Sorry, it's got a lower high, I meant to say. Lower high. It hasn't got a lower low yet. I would definitely leave this one open if I was in it. I don't really see any signs that buyers are taking complete control. It's just kind of moving sideways a little bit, so I would leave this one open. USDSEK, this is another trade that was entered and that has already hit target. Just so much happened on Monday, which is completely not normal. I tend not to trade Mondays. I tend to trade 4 days a week. It looks like I missed one of the busiest days that we're probably going to have this week, because everything just happened on Monday. Kind of crazy. New Zealand USD, I was looking for a potential short here, but it just never really did what I wanted it to do. So this one is completely cancelled. Where are all the other New Zealand pairs? Oh, it's right over them. USD CAD. Oh yeah, this one I was never going to enter. It was kind of like a complete and utter mess. I was looking at it thinking maybe if it retraced I could pull off an entry, but these wicks are just too crazy, so I obviously didn't go with that one. Right, so let's look for some new setups, guys. CADJPY is interesting. It's pushed up to this resistance area. It's not the best resistance area because recently it did break through it. It does seem like it has held in the past though. Let's see how it reacts at this resistance area for now. I would say it'd be tough to enter this trade because it did break through that resistance area last week. So yeah, let's just see how it reacts there for now. EURUSD is somewhat interesting. It's dropping really, really quickly. So it's hitting this support area right now. It looks like it's going to break straight through it. If it doesn't, there might be potential for a long here, but I'll mark it for now. But I'd say don't hold your breath for this one because it's likely just going to keep dropping down. GBP is doing nothing. USDCHF is kind of interesting. It's pushing up quite, yeah, it's quite a strong move today. When it hits this resistance area, it's going to be this resistance plus the 200 moving average. There was a trade here last week that was quite successful, went straight down. I wouldn't be surprised if upon hitting this area, it's going to reverse once again like it did last week. So I'm going to keep a very close eye on this one for a potential short once it hits the area. It's not there yet though, so. All right, that's it for Forex pairs right now. There's not a whole lot happening. Let's take a look at some CFDs and stocks and other stuff. DXY is obviously quite strong right now, as we're seeing on all the Forex pairs. But I don't really see a trade set up there. US 30. See, the problem with this is, you can see on the monthly chart, it only goes back to, oh no, this goes back to 1970, never mind. So we're at pretty much all-time highs here. So it's going to be a struggle to see any good setups here unless it starts to retrace a little bit. What I would like to see would be a retrace back to the support area here for a potential long, but might not happen. NAS 100, this one is also sitting at all-time highs. See, this goes back to 1985. It's absurdly high right now. Hey, Laurential. Hey, Sydney. Hey, everyone. Yeah, so this would be a similar situation. We'd want to see a bit of a retrace and then a continuation. Euro 50. This actually looks interesting. Potential short here on Euro 50. It's hitting this resistance area. Pretty significant resistance area. Yeah, I like this. Let's look for a potential short from here, guys. US oil is hitting resistance. I'm going to look for a potential short from this resistance area. I'll go into more detail in these in a second. Right, so on Euro 50, we've got price hitting this resistance area. I'm looking for a short here on potentially the 12-hour or the daily. On the 12-hour, we could probably enter after the low of this current candle is broken. So after this current candle closes, if we start to see a turnaround and price pushing down, we could use this candle as indecision. But what would probably be the smarter move overall would be to use the low of this candle as our entry, put it a bit lower than that. Do something like this would probably be the better move. Just a little bit extra confirmation that it's turning around. So I'm going to look for that on the Euro 50. Or EU50. Europe 50. US oil, this one's a bit trickier. Probably wait for the daily on this one. I'd want to see price move further into this resistance area also. So yeah, I want to see price hit this resistance area. Well, it's hitting it, but I want to see it stall on this resistance area. So this one, we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. Okay, going back to the Forex pairs, what do we have for today? Bit of a slow day in terms of new setups, but that's because a lot of setups triggered on Monday. So what can you do? On the 12-hour, there's a potential short here on CADJPY, although it might be smarter to wait for the daily on this. But if you wanted to enter on the 12-hour, you could potentially enter after this current candle closes. I'm definitely going to wait for the daily though. I want to see price push further into resistance, and I want to see a daily indecision candle there. Euro USD is hitting support. Let's look at the lower time frames. All right, lower time frames are showing us prices already stalling at support, which is no surprise. That being said, it could totally continue to push down at this point. There's nothing saying it's going to stop, but if it does stop, if it stops here, especially on the daily, but maybe even on the 12-hour, might be a good time to enter a long trade here. Just be careful with it. I wouldn't go on the lower time frames. It's too strong a move. I think on the lower time frames, we might get kind of like a bit of a fake out and then a continuation down. So I want to see it stall on the higher time frames before I make the decision to go long. USDCHF, quite a strong move up. The US is strong right now. The US dollar is strong right now. So it's pushing up quite a bit. Covered a lot of ground today. If price hits this resistance area and we get a similar setup to last week, I'll be looking for a short trade. Right, so that wraps it up for the analysis, guys. Is there any questions today? CADCHF is stalling at resistance. A long continuation reversal. A continuation of the bullish trend. I imagine you mean the bearish trend though. But you're saying, no, sorry, you said long. You said long. So obviously you're talking about the bullish trend. I'm just a bit confused because the continuation reversal was here. It's already happening. So if you're not in it, then it's too late. I don't really trade USD MXN, but I'll check it out. Stephen, what I think you mean is if price breaks through resistance, pulls back to support, then you're asking if it's worth trading a long continuation. Because when you say it pulls back to resistance, that would be price dropping below support and then pulling back to resistance, because support becomes resistance when it's broken. Okay. Well, first it would have to clearly break the resistance area, which it hasn't. If it clearly breaks the resistance area, then pulls back, you could potentially trade a continuation. But in my opinion, you should probably already be in the continuation. You could do it though. You could trade a continuation from there, like that. But there's not been a clear break, so. No, I don't see a potential short on USDJPY. Even if it stalls here, it's attempted twice to reverse from this resistance area. One time it completely and utterly failed. The second time it got a bit further and then it failed. Now the third time, I just really don't have faith in it anymore. I was apprehensive about entering the second time, and I didn't enter, mostly because of, I'm pretty sure I talked about this in last Wednesday's analysis possibly, mostly because of the fact that it failed the first time. Then it failed again. I'm not going to enter on a third attempt. It just doesn't look like sellers are that strong right now on the dollar. Looks like buyers are controlling the dollar. USD Mexican. What trade are you looking for here exactly? What time frame? What are you looking for here? Don't even see good support resistance here. It's a very messy pair. Maybe something like that. Bit of a range here. The potential for a short within this range. I don't like it, but is that what you're asking for? Well, Rashad is not responding, so I'm just going to skip it because I can't really figure out a trade there. I don't really trade rebound continuations on the hourly chart, and I don't really see any rebound continuation set up here at the moment. This price isn't really at a resistance area. What direction are you talking about? Sorry, rebound reversal. Yeah, I just don't see the setup. It's not on resistance or support, so. And I don't really trade those kinds of things on the 1 hour chart. Okay, so what I imagine you're doing is you're placing support resistance on the 1 hour chart, which is something I don't do. You're using 1 hour chart support resistance to go long from here, which is something I don't do. Unless you're talking about range, is that what you're talking about? A compression? Yeah, this isn't a range, man. A range requires 2 bounces from the top, 2 bounces from the bottom. We've got technically 2 bounces from the top, although it's more like 1.5 bounces from the top, because the first one isn't really when we're talking bounces, we want price to kind of start from the bottom and make its way to the top and then turn around. This kind of started from halfway. We got a pretty weird and weak bounce from the bottom. You got a very weak bounce from the top. It hasn't got 2 from the top and 2 from the bottom. This would be the start of the second one from the bottom. Then you'd have like 1.5 from the top and 2 from the bottom. Although the 2 from the bottom are pretty horrible. Sorry, the 1 from the bottom is horrible. This one's yet to be seen. This one from the top is horrible because it just moved sideways for like a whole day before moving down. And this one from the top wasn't really a complete bounce because it started from the halfway mark. Yeah, it's like totally not at all valid. We already talked about USDJPY shorts. I don't see any reason to go in short on USDJPY. It's failed twice already to push down. And it seems like buyers are extremely strong right now. I don't see any logical reason to go short right now on USDJPY. Any short's a massive risk. We're countering a huge bullish move on the US. And we've already had 2 hugely failed attempts at USDJPY pushing away from this resistance area. It's just smashed through resistance, smashed through the 200 moving average. I just don't see it. Sorry. If you want to do it, guys, feel free. I just think it's a very high risk trade. And I would totally not feel comfortable entering this trade. It's way too high risk for me. Very similar to USDJPY, it's already tried and failed to push away from the support area. It tried and failed once. And it tried here and took, how long is that? This is a daily chart, mind you. Took 16 days. 16 days to go from the bottom to the top the first time. Second time, it never made it. Completely failed. I just don't see why it would work out this time. I think it's way too risky. I think new traders have this thing, well, I don't think, I know, new traders have this thing where they try to force trades where there aren't any because they really, really want to trade. Experienced traders, on the other hand, try to look for reasons not to enter trades because they don't want to get into bad trades. Because they realize it's not making money is a whole lot better than losing money in trading. Because whenever you lose money in trading, you have to get it back. And getting it back is harder the less you have. So when you're a new trader, the sooner you shift your mindset from, I gotta grow my capital, to I gotta protect my capital, the sooner you make that switch, the better your trading is going to be. Ultimately, trading's number one rule is to protect your capital. It's not to make money. Make money is just kind of a byproduct or something that happens naturally as long as you're protecting your capital. Looking for or trying to force these really, really low quality trade setups because you don't see anything high quality is just the way that you're going to lose capital. It's not worth it. We have some setups. We're coming off a really, really good week last week. For those of you who entered the setups last week anyway. Let's just be chill, be relaxed, and work with the few setups we have. Unfortunately, Monday is where they all triggered, so I couldn't do, I don't do analysis on Mondays, so we're left with these three potentials today. But, you know, that can change by our Tuesday and by Wednesday and Thursday rather. We could have like 10 trade setups tomorrow. Who knows? But anyway, guys, I think that's it with the questions. I don't see any more questions, so I'm going to wrap this one up. Thank you guys for attending. Tomorrow's webinar will also be at 4 p.m. So I'll see you guys tomorrow at 4 p.m. Thanks once again for attending, and I'll see you guys later.